Did you have siblings growing up?
Yeah. Actually, well, for the first 13 years of my life, I was the only child. And then my mom, at the age of 40, had my little brother, and I had a sibling. And that taught me something too, Kev. It really did, because it helped me have the ability and the maturity to raise my daughter now, today. She's about to be 3 next month. But the responsibility I had, like, I literally named my little brother. And my mom was always working, so she would leave him with me. Now, if DCF knew that she was leaving a 9-year-old with a 13-year-old, I don't think they'd been too happy about that. I think my mom probably would have got in trouble, but she didn't. But I was pretty mature for my age. But just take the nurturing of my little brother, like changing the pamper, putting the Desitin on, feeding him, burping him, being attentive, being that nurturer, man, at a very early age. So when it came to raising my daughter, it was like a smooth transition. Now, of course, there's certain things that I experienced with my daughter that I didn't experience with my little brother. He's a boy. It's a little different when you're a father. But I wasn't too far behind,
Was mom working? A lot, hence why you were watching.
Oh, yeah. Mom's was working, bro. Mom's was working. She had her own cleaning company at the time and some little side jobs. And, I was used to being spoiled, and she liked spoiling me. So she would always work hard to give me the finer things when it comes with clothes and, accessories, toys, gaming systems, stuff like that. So I'm definitely grateful for my mom, man. She busted her butt to make sure I had a life of no needs, especially, but a little want.
Sounds like a great mom.
Yeah, man, she was awesome. Is awesome. So
is she's still with us?
Yeah, still is. Yeah, still with us. Yeah.
Was your father around?
Oh man, I met my father at 13. I never forget. I was in school one day, and they called my name on the intercom. Now initially, I'm like, oh, what the hell? What did I do now? Because I was known for in and out of student affairs because of my behavior. But today I ain't do nothing. I was like, man, I was good today. Come on now, what's going on? Talk to me. What is my name being called on this intercom for? So I went down to student affairs, and there it was. I seen a face congruent to mine. And I'm like, whoa. Just set me back a little bit. I was in a state of shock. I didn't know how to respond because a part of me wanted to be like, hey man, screw you. You wasn't here. But then another part of me just gave in and was like, hey, this is my dad. This is my father. That was that, that innate emotion, within self that it took over. It didn't allow me to rationalize and make a decision of not wanting him. It was just, I was just drawn. And I, gave him a hug, and we just, moved forward from there. And the relationship subsequent from the initial meetup, it wasn't what I anticipated. It was more of a friend than anything, as opposed to like giving fatherly advice and wisdom to how to navigate life. I didn't really get that much from my dad. He'll throw a quote in there every now and then, but it was more of on a friendship level, talking about girls and sports and stuff like that. But I appreciate what I did have from him, because a lot of people are not fortunate to have met their father. Yeah. So, grateful for that.
That's also a very mature approach at a young age. I feel like a lot of people just feel like, F you, Dad, like you weren't here.
Well, I wanted to.
I know, but actions speak loud.
Actions speak louder.
Dude, if I acted on every emotion or the voice inside my head, I'd be life in prison, But no, that's a mature approach, and how you saw that. What was high school like for you? Were you playing sports? Were you getting into trouble, drinking, drugs? What were you doing? Man,
high school for me was one of the most funnest moments of my life, bro. I was a popular kid, class clown, and I felt like, it could be a little biased, but I felt like my clique of guys were the best, and all my friends were majority athletes. Now me, I had a love for basketball, but for some reason, man, it's like, and I'm just being honest, when it was time for me to perform, when eyes watching me, I always dropped the ball. I could never perform as if I was by myself on the court practicing and I'm just in my zone. I always got stage fright. I always allowed those emotions to cloud my judgment and, stagnate my performance. But there was one point in time where I said, screw that, man. I'm gonna prevail. I'm gonna fight this emotion of stagnation and give it all I got and show these people my talent. Well, unfortunately, I had got into a fight. With a guy, with two guys. One was 18 and his brother was like 22, 23. And the 18-year-old, I beat him up. We had a prior beef, from a couple months back from that time of the fight. And he scared me at first. The first time he did scare me. I was intimidated because he was a senior. I was a freshman. And, he got the best of me as far as, the boo game, But that didn't never sit well with me, bro. They used to eat me up every day, man. So the next year came, I was a sophomore when I was going to a different school. And I was going to my friend's house late night. I was walking, bro, and I seen him. And I was like, you know what? That's so-and-so. So he was in the same apartment complex as one of my best friends that was living there at the time. So I say, hey, bro, listen, this, such and such? Like, oh, yeah, man, he ain't my brother. He say, you do? Hey, man, when you see him, tell him I want to fade. For those who don't know, fade means fighting. So I was like, tell him I want to fade. He got to see me. This ain't over from last year. He was like, all right, bet. Make a long story short, he tells him. A couple weeks go by, I get a phone call. Hey, Mo, remember the guy you was telling about? He in my apartments right now. He said, what's up? Let's do it. Let's bring it. I'm like, all right, heck yeah. But then that fear started to sink in a little bit. Started to self-doubt myself. Dang, do I got what it takes to beat this individual? Is it gonna be too much? Am I gonna perform well? If I don't win, what are my friends gonna think? All these emotions going through my head. So I made an excuse to my friend. I say, oh, no, man, I got a bogus excuse. I gotta do some homework. Come on, man. On the weekend. But I was that frightened. It's like, man, homework? Man, heck no, man, you done told me. I done told this man, he's trying to show you what you have to make the squad look like this and that. I'm like, man, I gotta do some homework, man. I'll catch y'all later. I hung up. Bro, 30 minutes later, knock at my door. It's my homies. They're like, bro, you gonna fight him, bro. You about to fade him. We done told him. This our name. This for the clique. You finna fight him. And I'm like, oh, man, dog, Lord. But I had to do what I had to do, man. The powers of peer pressure. And we'll get into that a little later on. But I said, you know what, forget it. Y'all right. Let's do it. So I ain't had no bike at the time. Like, hey, man, get my bike. I'll ride on such and such handlebar. Like, all right, y'all really want me to? But hey, it is what it is. We young. We were trying to make a name for ourselves. Make a long story short, get into the apartment complex, and it's like immediately, bro. You familiar with Dragon Ball Z, bro?
A little bit.
Yeah, bro. Well, Dragon Ball Z is a popular anime, in my time growing up, bro. It was like I was Goku and he was Frieza, bro. Like prolonged enemies, bro. Like anticipating the meetup. We ran to each other in the street, bro. We put our sets up and we go to duking it out, bro. I got the best of him. I tore him up. He see that I was serious. I just had the more grit at that time. And he tried to run away. I get on him, beat him up through the car. My homeboy, he actually starts to jump in. I'm like, whoa, I ain't need no help, but forget it. It's already, you're done. And we did a horrible thing, man. We took his money. Took his phone, took his goods, and we left. Now, about an hour later, we go to my homeboy's house. The guy that I just beat up comes back with his older brother. Now, mind you, his older brother's a grown man. We're 16, 15, 17. None of us are grown. But he has his big brother. His big brother say, hey, man, I don't know what you little motherfuckers got going on, but just give my brother phone back, man. We'll get up out of here. So I had a hothead. You always got a hothead in the crew. One of my hotheads, he said, man, forget all that. Your brother tried my homeboy, this and that. You ain't getting no phone, no nothing back. It's took. Consider it took. So he like, man, matter of fact, you can get it too. So my hothead homeboy run up on the big brother. They go to fight. So we're like, what the? It's a grown man. So of course, the grown man started getting the best of my friend. He's a kid. He's 17. I mean, he can fight, but an adolescent strength can't compete with a grown man's strength. It's just two different strengths. So, we get in there, we, beating him up and stuff like that, jumping him. So the guy I fought, of course, he helped his brother. It's like a little mini ride in front of my homeboy's house, bro. People, neighbors watch, hey, gotta call the police. I'll forget all that. So I never forget, bro. They said it was calling my name, but I was so deep in just tearing this dude up that I just beat up again. I was on his head, bro. And out of nowhere, bro, a blink of an eye just flashed, bro. And my vision went blurry. And I'm like, whoa, I was dizzy. I'm like, what just happened? And as I begin to gather myself, I touched my face, bro, because I felt leaking. And, bro, my blood was just pouring out profusely, bro. He hit me so hard, bro. He fractured this side of my face, and I was messed up. I had to go to the hospital. The doctor said, man, hey, look, if he was like a centimeter away, he could have hit a main artery. He could have bled out because of how much, a lot of blood you lost. And that was very scary, man. He hit me pretty hard, bro. I can honestly say I know what it feels like to get hit hard by a grown man. You know what I'm saying? I learned that day. And I say that to say this, that kind of shifted my basketball, the trajectory of my basketball career, because basketball season was right around the corner, and I was going for tryouts, but I couldn't because my face was fractured. So I never really had that opportunity to play high school basketball. I played in the rec leagues in the street, but I never really played organized high school ball. And that's something I regret, man, because I really, at that time, I was going to combat that fear and give it my all and showcase my true raw talent, and got stripped from it due to a fight.
Did you learn at that point all actions have consequences? So by you saying, hey, I want to fight that guy, putting the word out there, right? Mm-hmm. The end result was you weren't able to play basketball because you couldn't go to tryouts. Like, none of that would have happened if you didn't put that word out, and you ended up fighting him. Did you learn from that all actions have consequences? But you're also very young too.
Right. I'm gonna be honest. It didn't compartmentalize at that age. At that age of 16, I still had an infantile mind, and I didn't assess the ramifications accordingly, and that's what led me to face with a 15-year prison sentence because of that. You know what I mean? So, to answer your question, no. And I wish I would have, because it could have changed, it could have altered my future.
Trajectory.
Yeah.
So what happened that landed you in prison for 15 years?
Oh, man. I made a bonehead decision, bro. I got involved with a robbery, and that robbery turned into a homicide. My co-defendant shot and killed somebody because he didn't have any resources to give us. And it was very horrific, bro. Very horrific. But it goes back to what you said, bro. Like, at that time, I had knowledge of the robbery. I was in on that. So that's why I'm not innocent by a long shot. And I tell everybody this, I wasn't innocent.
Could you actually walk us through the day?
Yeah, cool. for sure. So,
were you a stick-up kid?
No, I wasn't a stick-up kid. I wasn't a stick-up kid. I was the accomplice, right? Now, my co-defendant, he had what you call motion in school. 17 years old, had more money than the average Joe Blow, right? And that always intrigued me. I was working at Busch Gardens, didn't have as much money as him, but I had my own, but not as much money as him. And the amount of money he had was a lot for a 17-year-old. So I asked him, I say, bro, man, what are you doing? Like, man, I sell reefer, marijuana, weed in school, and I rob, I hit licks. I was like, man, I'm kind of interested, man. Next time you do something like that, let me know. I want to get in on it. Like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm positive, man. If it's reaping these type of benefits, like, all right, cool. We'll do it. And he hit me up the next week. He said, bruh, that thing you asked me about, bruh, it's an opportunity. What's up? I'm doing it tonight. You with it? And I'm like, hell yeah. And I didn't even know what I was getting myself into. I'm like, what the? But I did that, bro. They called me that night, and they said, bro, I'm going to pick you up at this amount of time. At this time. Now, my mom at that time, it's crazy to go back to the mom, she had an intuition. She told me to stay home that night. She said, Morgan, do not go outside. It's late. It's nothing out there for a 16-year-old. Don't go out this house. I'm like, I looked at my mom dead in her face. All right, mom, I got you. I ain't going nowhere. Told a bold-faced lie. Soon as she went to sleep, bro, I snuck out the house. So I snuck out the house around like 11 something at night, bro. And got in the car. Are you familiar with the movie Boys in the Hood?
Oh, yeah.
You remember when Cuba Gooding Jr., Trey, was telling Doughboy, yo, let me out? Mm-hmm. I was going through that same phase, but I didn't have the fortitude to say let me out because I was so worried about what they would think. Because it was 4 of us, by the way. So, I done hyped myself up. I done told my co-defendant that I was down. Now, all of a sudden, because I'm having these thoughts, I'm trying to bail. How would that make me look? As a 16-year-old amongst your peers, you'd be like, it makes you look like a chump, like you scared, like you ain't got what it takes. And then you go to school, he proliferates it. Now, throwing shame on your name and you're prideful. You're like, nah, I ain't. Just a lot of, so I went through that whole emotional roller coaster in my mental and I just couldn't say no. I wanted to, but I couldn't say no. And we ended up going to a USF campus, bro, a college campus. Why? I don't know. There's no money on the college campus, but this how naive we were. and the blind leading the blind. I'm letting him, lead the way. We get on the college campus, man, we see a lady, and I couldn't stomach it. I couldn't do it. I was like, hey, man, somebody else. Nah. So we end up driving, scoping the campus out. We park, get outside, and we're walking. That's February. It's cold. Believe it or not, Tampa gets cold. And we see this gentleman crosses our path. He walks past us. And he actually says something. He said, it's cold out here, man. Can't wait to get into the heat, something along those lines. I say, yeah, man. I say, yeah, stay warm, man. Bundle up. And my co-defendant, he looks at me like, and I'm like, you just got to talk to us. Maybe you want him? He's like, man, him. So I ran up behind him, man, and I punched him in the back of his neck. When I punched him, his glasses fell. I could still hear the sound effect. Tick, tick, tick. And when he did it, he was like, what the? Because he was just so bamboozled. We just finished talking to you. We just did like a little greeting, And then my co-defendant pulls a gun out. So you got the count of 3. I'm going to blast you. You know what time it is. And I'm looking. My co-defendant, I'm thinking he's bluffing. But what's so ironic and so scary is that the guy looked him dead in his eyes and said, you're just going to have to shoot me. I don't have anything. So at that point, in my mind, I'm like, you know what? Let me just hit him, rock his jaw a little bit, and let's run. He'll live to see another day. Jaw might be a little sore, but he'll live to see another day. My co-defendant counts to 3, and literally at 3, he shoots him. Bam! With a 9mm, WCC hollow tip bullets. And the guy cried in agony. I still hear it to this day, bro. He like, ah! And I'm like, I was so shocked, I yelled at my co-defendant's name. I'm like, what the? And I just ran, bro. Me and my other co-defendant, we ran. We ran to the car, left him. We out of here, bro. So we get into the car, we're telling the driver, hey, bro, leave. He's like, hey, man, such and such is crazy. Fucking leave, bro. He's like, no, man, that's my home. I ain't leaving him. Like, bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro, this man just shot somebody for no reason. Leave. Like, nah, forget all that, man. I'm staying. So the gunman, he runs to the car. He finally makes it to the car. I'm like, bro, what's your problem, bro? Like, oh, man, that's what come with it, man. Oh, yeah, forget that. Fuck that. No, it ain't fuck that. What if you killed this man? Bro, he ain't dead, so what if he is? It's all, we gonna get caught, we good, nobody knows. And I'm like, bro, at that time, I wanted to put my hands on him, kid. I wanted to fight him so bad for the lack of insensitivity, bro. Like, insensitivity. Like, bro, you just shot somebody and you don't care for no reason. Now, I can see if the guy would have attacked us, would have put one of our lives in danger, you had to shoot him to protect. That's different. It comes with the game. But this man literally stood there innocently, didn't pose not one threat, and you shot him for no reason? Come on, brother. Come on, man. So I wanted to fight him, but I had to realize he does have a firearm on him, and I just witnessed him shoot somebody. So what can I do? So we had like a cold case, Kevin. Cold case for like a month and a half. My co-defendant decides to use the same firearm that he shot the guy with to go rob a store. Now, luckily, I didn't go with him on that mission because he proposed that mission too. But after what I seen that, I say, no way, bro.
Did the guy die?
Yeah, the guy died.
The guy did die?
He did die.
Okay, sorry,
yeah,
continue.
Yeah,
he goes on the second robbery.
Yeah, he died, bro. And he goes on that second robbery, man. And I'm like, ain't no way in the world. And it's crazy because I found out that the guy died on the news and the newspaper. They had a $100,000 reward on our head for anybody who had any info in regards to this cold case. So think about how I'm feeling. And one of my friends, man, I never forget, he calls me while I'm on the bus in school. He like, because I told 2 people. I told one of my best friends and I told my girlfriend at the time. Shouldn't have done that either. But, I had to get it out. I had to confess it to somebody. I don't know why I didn't tell my mom, because the outcome could have been a little different. But it happened how it was supposed to happen, because I'm grateful for my experience in prison, and we'll delve into that. But he calls me, say, hey, man, that situation you were talking about, I got something to show you. He shows me, bruh, Florida Sentinel. It's a local publication paper in the Tampa Bay area. And he shows me the crime section. There we are. 3 people running across the USF campus. Unidentifiable, though. Unidentifiable. You don't know who we are, but you just see 3 suspects running across. And I just almost wanted to shit on myself, bro. my stomach, my heart just dropped in my stomach. I'm like, because now I'm looking at you. And bro, is you gonna turn me in for this 100 grand? I don't know who to trust now. I kept thinking about it, bro. Like, would you, like 100 grand, 17, that's a lot of money. 100 grand is life-changing money, especially at that time in 06. So I'm like, man. But long story short, we ended up getting caught because they did have my co-defendant, the driver, the license plate on camera. So they traced that. And then my co-defendant, the actual triggerman, had to say something, bro. Because they was just knowing too many things. They was coming to my school asking questions. Like, how do they know we're friends? Like, they was just asking certain questions that me and him, like, only knew about. So I don't know if he was, like, had that mentality, like, if I go down, everybody's going down with me. But while in the precinct, while they're questioning me, bro, I tried to lie. I tried to wiggle my way out of it. You know, I tried to, quote unquote, keep it real, as we like to say. But two things. I'm 16, I'm naive, I've never been in a situation. I'm going against people that's 30 years in the game. I don't know what they're doing, bro. All I know, they softened me up with some chips and a soda and asked me questions like they were on my team and doing all this, you know, psychological tactics. And they kept in and out the room. So every time I tell them a lie, they would know a lie. They would know it was a lie. I'm like, how the hell are they knowing this? What the hell is going on? So the last time they got up and they left the door crack a little bit and all I hear is a cry. Oh, man, I told you everything. This and that. I'm like, oh, shit. They had the driver in that room the whole time. So as I'm telling lies, they know it's a lie because the driver's telling them everything. So I'm like, oh, man. So I had to tell the truth, okay? Because I didn't want to dig myself in a deeper hole. So I was like, hey, bro, this is what happened. This is my part in it. Here you go.
Yeah.
Long story short, bro, I got sentenced to 15 years in a Florida State prison, followed by 10 years probation.
You go away in 2006?
Yeah, I get locked up in 2006 and I do 2 years in the county.
Okay.
And I go to prison in 2008 at the age of 18.
Okay. And then you are locked up and you don't do the full 15 years, right?
Nah, in Florida, it's 85% of your time.
Okay.
So you get game time up to 85%. You have to at least do 85% of your time. And I was fortunate to get all my game time, to recoup all my game time, because I did lose some game time due to some affairs I had in prison, some bad decisions. But I was able to recoup them and make it to my earliest release date, which was December 31st, 2018. So today it's been, 6 consecutive years I've been scot-free. No new charges, no technicals. I completed a 10-year probation term. Yeah. For people that say I can't complete probation, that's a lie. It's all about the mindset and who you hang around. Hang around the right people, have your mind right, keep yourself productive, and I guarantee you will succeed. But yeah, I did end up doing 5 years off 10 years.
Yeah, so you have been out for 6 years, coming up on 7 in December. What have you learned from what happened?
What do you, in what regard are you talking about?
I'm sure you learned a lot of different things, but what is the ultimate takeaway from just the overall situation that took place? What sticks out in your mind that has helped you be? Because you said, listen, it happened. I'm grateful for my time in prison. What did the overall, even in prison, like your action, the consequence was prison. Overall, looking at it, not that I know you regret it. I know that you never would have taken someone's life or let your friend take someone's life or been part of that if you could go back.
Correct.
But you're not trying to rewrite the past. You said things happened for a reason, and I learned so much in prison in my experience. So what was your overall takeaway from that? So what did you learn in prison?
I learned a plethora of things, but I do want to sum it up like this. And we can elaborate, but I want to just answer this question. Yeah. I learned that the individual that is in control of his emotion has the ultimate power. See, in prison, I was in an environment filled with violence, hatred, bigotry, drama, a lot of emotion, right? And I've witnessed certain affairs from other people where their lives were taken because of the misuse of emotions, reacting off impulse. You know, not delaying gratification, not knowing how to combat that urge. Because in prison, one word out of emotion, one wrong word out of emotion can be detrimental. Saying the wrong thing to a prison guard could be detrimental. So I had to learn how to take control of my emotions and not allow my emotions to be a detriment, but a benefit. So, prime example, there were times where CEOs might have said something I didn't like. I might have did something that I felt like was dehumanizing, but I had to weigh my options. I was on the brink of going home. My goal was to make it home to my earliest convenience. So am I going to react and allow my emotions to cloud my judgment and say what I really want to say? Or am I going to bite my tongue, compartmentalize it, really assess it? Is it really that important for me to give it a reaction? No, because the ramifications is going to outweigh that instant gratification of me telling that individual what I really want to tell them. You understand? You follow me, Kevin? You understand?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I had to think, and mind you, I had to make these decisions in milliseconds. It's not like this is a long, drawn process. This is a millisecond, bro. You have to make these conscious decisions. Are you going to respond? Are you going to react? Because it's a difference. Reacting is when you make a decision off instinct with no proper calculation involved. It's just off instinct, off impulse, of what you feel at that time. Responding, however, is when you make a calculated decision based on all the variables that are in place, and you assess the ramifications. Hey, if I do this, this can transpire. Does this behoove me? Does this put me in the best case scenario? And if it's no, I make the wise decision off calculation. I'm not gonna do it. No, I'm not gonna go over there. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I utilize these intangibles to my benefit within self that allow me to have the advantage while incarcerated, bro. Because like I say, another example, I seen people mismanaging their emotions. I seen dudes skip dudes in the phone line because they felt like their call was more important than the next man. They were so emotional, like insensitive and impatient, because that's an emotion. So impatient and thinking that, hey, man ain't gonna do nothing. So what? I gotta make my phone call. Time running out. And you skip a guy. And that same guy that you skip, he gets a knife and he stabs the shit out you. I done seen dudes get their face sliced, bro. Cause you're not thinking. Dudes getting beat up in prison. Hey, I got beat up by the guards one time. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna say I had a cold, clean slate. Like, I had to learn, develop, and grow. I made a decision out of irrationality, out of irrationale, because I let my emotions get the best of me, made the decision, and that equated to me getting beat up by the guards, bro. They beat me up.
I love that you mentioned this about emotion, because I'm sitting here thinking of like all the things that I was emotional about, and it impacted my decision making. I acted impulsively, and you know, an hour later, I'm like, why did I do that? I've just created so much, like a much bigger situation out of this. And so it applies to work. It applies to what happened to you. I mean, even with the fight, you were all hyped up at your friend's house, and you were like, yo, I want to fight this dude. Like, let him know. And then later on, emotions kicked in, and you were like, fuck, what did I do? And then when you were in the car going to the robbery, fuck, I want to get out, you know? But also, too, it's crazy. You're 16, and the influence of caring about what other people think, the fear that sets in that these people, they're going to think I'm a pussy. Like, that fear I can relate to, and I'll do some dumb shit because I don't want, because of that fear. It forces me to do some dumb shit. How did you get yourself? Now, when someone says something to you and then you react in a millisecond, the right way, it's like you're not even thinking. You have trained yourself to react based off of non-emotion. Right? How did you get to a place where you trained yourself to do that?
So I want to, it's always emotion. even if you respond, it's always emotion. It's about channeling the emotions properly that will behoove you. So every decision you make is predicated on emotion. Emotions,
That's a
this
good
is
point.
emotion.
That's
You're
a good
excited
point.
to talk to me right now.
Yep.
I'm excited to talk to you. We're happy right now. We're breaking bread, bro. We're helping the people out. We're happy about doing. Happy is an emotion, right? So I just wanted to clarify that. But
no, it's great.
how I trained my mind is first being aware of what emotional intelligence exactly was. And emotional intelligence in a nutshell is recognizing and knowing and labeling the emotions that I feel within self and knowing how to handle them properly while simultaneously being able to identify those same emotions in others and knowing how to approach them accordingly. That's what it is in a nutshell. Recognizing your emotions, knowing what that emotion is, and going to the root. Why am I feeling like this? You ever like, even if it happens, let's not talk about, fear and anger right now. Let's talk about happiness. Why are you happy right now, Kevin?
Because you're here telling this amazing story and you have a lot to offer my audience.
You see that?
A lot of tools.
Now, you see how you're able to decipher that?
Yeah.
And transcribe
bigger
that?
picture.
The bigger picture. A lot of people can't do that. They can't interpret their emotions. Why am I feeling like this? Why am I happy? Why am I jealous? Why am I sad? Why am I mad? Why am I angry? And because they don't have the know-how where the root of it stems from and actually how to label it and recognize it, they mismanage them. And now it becomes a detriment as opposed to a benefit. And this is something I learned because I learned how to control my emotions and fortify my intangibles by just watching other people, how they dealt with each other emotionally. I seen a guy made a bad decision emotionally. I see how it turned out. It's guys in prison, because in prison, in the state of Florida at least, they identify how many times somebody been in prison by a letter on their tag. So 0 means first time, A means second time, B means third, C, fourth, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm seeing guys in there with G's on their tag. Like, how the hell did you not learn from the prior 10 times, bro? Like, what the heck? Like, but I mean, and I guarantee, bro, if you ask anybody in prison, if we did a case study right now, Kevin, what everybody was in prison for, 99.7% predicated on emotions. My situation, as you just alluded to, the emotions of me wanting the material of robbing somebody, not thinking about somebody could potentially die. Something can extremely go wrong. No, I didn't think about that. I was thinking about, damn, man, if I rob him, what if I come up on some jewelry, some money? What can I buy myself? I can buy myself the new J's. I can do this, I can do that. The emotion of wanting, of greed, Mm-hmm. And that led me to make a piss poor decision to participate in something that I had no business being involved in. I wasn't even raised like that, bro. I had no priors. Prior to that crime, I had stole a police bike. You know what I mean? That's it. But I had no priors, but I didn't go in and out of the juvenile system. But it's the emotions, bro. And the same thing, you know what I mean? I witnessed when I was in prison, bro. Like, I made decisions based off emotions. Not based on mischanneling my emotions. Didn't turn out well. Like I said, got beat up by prison guards. Put myself in certain situations where I had to fight in prison. It's like, you know what? Had I responded correctly, probably wouldn't have fought this person and break my hand in the midst of it. Had arguments. I fell out with certain peers that was close that I got off the bus with because of mischanneling emotions and misinterpretation. No longer cool with that person. It's just a lot, bro. Like, we just look at it in a nutshell because a lot of people think when they hear emotional intelligence, man, it's mundane and they think it's just for women. And especially as men,
yes,
us having this machoism, we think, being in tune with your emotions are weak. And it's not, bro. It's the dynamic of life. You get what I'm saying? Because, growing up, and did you have your dad?
Yeah.
Okay, so did your dad tell you, hey, men don't cry, got to be strong, machoism, never let them see you sweat, and all this extra masculine persona that we have to have, and it's like, never emasculate yourself by crying, and if you do, you're weak, you're a punk, and that's not the case, because there's a time where you should cry. It's therapeutic. Now, if you're crying about things that's minute, that's like, hey, bro, it's a difference between venting and crying, bro, like whining. Mm-hmm. Venting, hey, we see the situation, we bring attention to it, okay, now what's the solution? Mm-hmm. Now, if crying, whining and bitching, that's when you keep talking about it, but there's no solution that has been identified. And when somebody brings one to your attention, you're not willing to take action on it. You don't want to solve the problem. You just want to keep crying and talking about it. Eventually, nobody want to hear that shit. Nobody's going to feel bad for you. You get what I'm saying? You see the difference?
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, man, in today's society, man, it's just so much pressure on the male in particular to just be this hard, machoism, don't take no shit, don't be weak, don't tap into your femininity and all this bullshit. And it's like, that's not true, man. It's a balance, the yin and the yang. Now, of course, as a man, the masculinity should outweigh. You should have more of that displayed, as opposed to the femininity band, but you gotta have a balance, bro. And that's what I learned, to have a balance. It's okay to, like, people in prison, man, this is a very common word. I used to hate people say this, bro. He's like, oh, get out your feelings. You and your feelings. And I'm like, motherfucker, we all in our feelings. Ain't you supposed to be in your feelings? We're humans. That's a part of our genetic makeup is feelings. That's how we absorb life and able to, appreciate life is feelings. Because if you don't have no feelings, you don't know if you're happy. So you don't know, you know what I mean? We won't be able to enjoy the essence of life, bro. So I used to hate people saying that. And it's like, hey, I'm in my feelings because I expressed to you something that you did that didn't sit well with me. I'm weak now. I'm being a bitch. And I used to have to nah. And sometimes I used to have to hold things in because I didn't want that label. Oh, you're being in your emotions, you're being in your feelings. But I say, screw that. You know what? I'm gonna stick up for myself. And that's an aspect of emotional intelligence. Knowing when, where, and how to stick up for yourself at the appropriate time in an efficient way. Now, when I say stick up for yourself, I'm not saying automatically hit somebody in the mouth. No, because how you alluded to earlier, you know how many times I got disrespected in prison? Millions of times. Think about it, Kevin. If I would have hit somebody in their mouth or fought, every single individual that disrespected me while incarcerated or out here in the free world, I'd probably be dead right now. Right? So we gotta learn, when is it appropriate to execute and display this motion in this manner, and when is it not? Because it's okay to be angry. People think it's no bad or good emotion. Like I said, it's all about how you channel it, how you utilize it. Anger. People, it's a stigma with anger. Oh, don't be angry. Anger is bad. No, anger is good, depending on how you use it. Because let's say you're a CEO of a company. I'm your employee. I have a task to do. I'm not completing that task accordingly, Kevin. But if you keep coming to me passively and with a smile on your face, hey, Mo, man, the report's coming in, the performance is low, man. We got to get it together. We got to do it. And this is how you're approaching me every time. And no results, nothing has changed. I'm not taking you serious. But if you come anger with frustration on your face, looking at me, assertive, Mo, I'm not happy with what's going on. I'm angry right now. You've been performing poorly. We had a discussion. You said you're going to fix it. It's not. I'm not happy. Something needs to be done about this. This needs to be solved. All right, then I see that you're angry. And now that you're angry, you got my attention. Now I might take you a little more serious. Now next month, those results are where you anticipate them to be because you showed that anger. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you didn't come slap me in my mouth. You didn't come jack me up. You didn't punch me in my shit. You didn't do that. You channel it accordingly, and you got the results that you wanted. Because now I tightened up, and I did better in my specified job requirement. Make sense? This is what I want the people to know. Because if you fortify yourself in your emotions, you become one with your emotions, your life will 10x in every area in life. I hear a lot of people, you got these gurus out here, selling courses on how to make money and get into this endeavor, and that's cool. But if you don't have your emotions, concise, appropriately, anything you delve into, you're gonna make a poor decision based off emotions. Real estate, forex, any type of anything, bro. It doesn't matter. Emotions is the catalyst to everything in life and everything we do, bro. Everything.
So this is I love this. This is foundation, right? The life coaches out there that are saying, I'll 10x your revenue, what you're making, right? But it's the chicken before the egg here. You can't do that unless you have the foundational work. What you're talking about is foundational work. When you build a solid foundation and you put the action in and you start to change your behavior, your emotion, etc., the fruits come, the money come. Whatever you want, it'll come. Let's back up for 1 second.
Okay. Yeah.
How did you committed this crime, you were 16, you're in prison. How did you, I want you to dive deeper because for the listener right now who's understanding what you're saying about emotion and you're bringing up and making some great points. How did you get there? Yeah. How did you mature? That's maturity. I'll throw one out to you. I was able to channel my emotions once I started hanging out with other people who were able to channel their emotions. I wasn't hanging out with people who didn't have what I wanted. Yeah. Now, and I'm not talking materialistic things. I'm talking about the qualities that they embodied. Yeah. So that, for me, that's what I did. That was one of the many things that I did. What are some of the things that you did to get you there?
You sure you want this, Kevin? I'm about to dive in.
No, dive it, man. Dive. All right, people want it, all right?
All right. So look, what you just said, perfect sense, man. Are you familiar with the sum of 5?
I'm not.
Okay, so the sum of 5 is you are the sum of the 5 people you associate yourself with.
Okay.
So if you hang with 5 businessmen, you're going to be the 6th businessman. If you hang with 5 thugs, you're going to be the 6th thug. If you hang with 5 nerds, guess what? You're going to be the 6th nerd. So as you alluded to, who you hang around. So I was blessed, that's an understatement, but I was blessed to have encountered a phenomenal gentleman who just happened to be my mentor while incarcerated by the name of Osiris. Osiris at the time was like on his 20-something year of a life sentence bid out of Miami, and the man was phenomenal. His articulation skills, the way he reasoned, just everything about him, his whole stature, about 6'4", 6'5", very intellectual, man. And I was drawn to that, bro. And I wanted to be like that. And he took me under his wing, man. And he always gave me this quote. And I tell this quote, any platform I get on, I gotta leave him with this quote he gave me. He said, Mo, never be consumed by the fire, but purified by the fire. And I'm like, man, what are you talking about, bro? He always throwing these little riddles out here. He say, if you take a piece of paper and you crumble it up and you throw it in a brush of fire, what's gonna happen? It's gonna disintegrate, it's gonna get consumed, right? Now, he say, if you take a raw, dirty gold nugget, right? Throw it in that same brush of fire, what's gonna happen?
It's just gonna sit there.
It's gonna get cleansed. It's gonna get purified, ready to be retailed at high value. He said, Mo, be that dirty gold nugget. Prison is the fire, your environment. Don't allow your environment to consume you and make you worse, but yet allow it to build you to an elite individual. Gain, absorb, compartmentalize it, and be of value. So when you get out here in the free world, people want to pay you. People want to hear your story. People want to hear your wisdom. People will see the value and want to bring you in. Just how people want to buy that piece of gold nugget or that gold chain when you see it in the jewelry store. And I ran with that, Kevin. I never looked back. And Osiris, he taught me, things from politics to religion, psychology, put a plethora of books in my life. And as I'm reading these books, man, and one thing I want to tell the listeners, listen, it may be cliche, but reading is fundamental. I have been so many places around the globe from a 4x10 cell from reading books, man. Antarctica, Africa, space, I fought with aliens. I was with Cinderella, you name it, man. I was everywhere, bro, because the reading took my mind out of prison, out of that cell, and it just allowed me to escape. But as I'm escaping, I'm learning. And one thing reading does that's very paramount is it allows one to identify options. And that was the inception of my journey of emotional intelligence. I knew I had options because I started looking deep into self. You know, these self-help books, you know, psychology and stuff like that. I'm like, what led me in prison? It wasn't the system. It wasn't you. It was me because of my decision making. Why did I make that decision? Because I wanted this. What was that though? That feeling. Those feelings are emotions. I just started like I was like a therapist. I was like my own therapist with inside self. I'm just throwing myself questions and I'm answering them. Because reading all these books, bro, it just did something to me. I became smart, bro. It's like the things that, like even we told at the beginning, you said, what was I thinking, you know, at the fight at 16? I didn't know because I wasn't reading books. I wasn't compartmentalizing all this information. But now I'm in prison, bro, and I'm edifying myself. It's like, wow, I really didn't have to do what I did. I was a fool, especially considering that, you know, I'm a man of African descent and knowing the history of slavery. It's like I have ancestors that fought and died to not be in servitude. But here it is, I put myself in predicament, subjecting myself to be in a circumstance where I'm given voluntary servitude. When these people just fought, that's a spit in the face, bro. But I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of it. So that just gave me a boost. And I'm like, you know, never again will I ever allow my emotions or piss poor decision making subject me into these hellacious conditions. Never. And that's when I began on my journey, bro. And it just added, it just built from there. And like I say, wisdom. I just seen the outlook of people not in tune with their emotions, not in tune with themselves, man. And what it transpired.
So you are now this gold nugget that has just been cleaned off. You get out of prison December 2018. Do you hit the ground running?
Oh, man, that's an understatement, bro.
Yeah, tell us what you did.
Bro, when I first got out, man, this is how I know I was on the right track, bro. When I first got out, my third day home, I called one of my high school sweethearts. She was asking me, you know, where am I going? How's everything? Am I excited? I'm like, damn right. You're getting out the joint from doing 12.9 years. Hell yeah. What you think? I said, I'm on my way to the DMV to get my license. She's like, what? I said, yeah, I'm going to DMV to get my license. She's like, bro, mark my words, she say, I know you on your shit. I say, why? I say, my baby daddy been out for X amount of years and he still ain't got his license. You coming home your third day, you about to get your license? And it didn't dawn on me. I didn't know how. I thought it was a minor. I thought it was, you know, a bare essential, right? But in retrospect, having the experience I had today, going back to then, it's like, wow, I see why she said that. Because there's so many people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s that don't have their license. So right then and there, that was the inception. Then my 22nd day, I got a job, bro. I didn't make no excuses, bro. See, my whole thing was this, Kevin, when I got out. I heard the excuse in prison, oh, man, it's hard out there, man. This and that, I can't get no job because I'm a convicted felon. I got this and that. So I took it as a challenge. I said, you know what? I'm going to make it hard for somebody to say it's hard out here. But here's the caveat, though. The only way I was able to do that was allow my environment to make me better. See, the environment that I was in, prison, I learned so many skills. I learned how to speak effectively through Toastmasters. Are you familiar with Toastmasters? Toastmasters is a nationwide fraternity that builds public speakers and leaders. It helps you how to communicate effectively, talk in front of the masses. So I took advantage of that. So that's how I'm able to have the ability to speak well with confidence. I learned the second language, Spanish. I got a trade. I just did a plethora of things, bro, that allowed me to bring value to somebody. Because I knew when I got out of prison, somebody see that charge, murder charge, attempted armed robbery, they're like, oh, they're a little apprehensive. I don't want to get this guy a job. He's going to kill me. He's going to hurt one of my staff. And then when they see all my accolades, though, and all my credentials, that's value. That's something I can help you with. I can solve some problems that you're currently dealing with. And when they seen that, it was like, well, you know what? And then when I told them exactly what happened and how it transpired, like, oh, okay, so you're not a killer. No, by no way, form, or fashion am I a killer, man. I just got tied up with the wrong crowd. This would transpire. I had no control, and there you have it. But that in itself put me in a great situation because, like I say, and I know I'm probably going a little too fast, but the 22nd day, I got a job with the temp service. I just wanted something quick. I just wanted to get some money flowing in. I was making $13 an hour, bro. I remember it used to take me like 50 hours to make $400. But it was better. It was better than nothing because in prison I was working for free. So I couldn't complain, right? But I was just saving like majority of my checks, putting them up. Because at the time I was living with my mom, didn't have an astronomical amount of bills. So I was able to save up. So I was running my own business. While I was in prison, a guy always told me, start a vending machine company. Say vending machines, they're easy, they're convenient, your presence is not required all the time, and it's a low overhead. So when he told me about this, he was talking about candy machines. I'm like, man, nobody studying no quarters, man. You ain't finna make no money doing that. Like, the hell you not? And he broke the math to me. He said, see, you looking at it like you're gonna get rich off one machine. It's a numbers game. Imagine if you had 10 machines, candy machines, placed in high traffic locations, and every day, just one day, every day, somebody put a quarter in there for 30 days straight. How much money is that? I started calculating. Now times it by 10. I was like, you know, that's a pretty little penny, especially when my presence is not having to be required all the time. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I might take advantage of this. And I just did just that. And in 3 months, I started my company, Vans at Vending. I started off with candy machines. I eventually got up to like 10 machines, just like the other guy suggested, and I was making good money. And I wanted to elevate. Oh, but let me tell you my first machine got placed at, bro? At the job I was working at, bro. I hollered at the boss, the guy that hired me on the temp, and I was like, man, hey, such and such, you know, ain't nothing much, man, but I got a candy machine, man. I just really want to put it in the corner, you know. See, it's not a lot of, you know, options in here in the break room. Just want to see how it does. And because I was a hard worker, he was like, you know what? I like you, Mo, man. Go ahead and do that, man. I don't care. It's not going to get in the way of nobody. Bro, Kevin, no lie, bro. In 2 weeks of that machine being there, guess how much money I accumulated, bro?
In $2,000.
No, bro, for a candy machine. No, I wish, bro.
Dude, all the gold you have on, I'm thinking big, you know? I'm like,
bro, if I made $2,000 with a candy machine, bro, I'll still be doing that to this day, bro.
How much?
Bro, I made like $113, bro.
Wow, is that a lot for vending machines?
A bubblegum machine, candy machine?
Yeah.
A double header?
Yeah.
Quarters?
Yeah.
Bro,
quarters,
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Bro, it was on, bro. And I just elevated, bro. Right then that gave me my momentum. And I just elevated, bro. So I'm making like, you know, a couple of $100 off fucking candy, bro.
That's awesome.
A month. So I was like, oh, you know what? It's time to pivot, but pivot for the better. So then,
Wait, hold on. Yeah. This is the guy that gave you an opportunity out of prison to work there, and then he allowed you, because you were such a good worker, to put a vending machine in there.
And I had a great attitude. Please remind me of what I'm about to say, because I want to, because it's an intangible I want people to develop that I guarantee ensure them will allow them to win in life. Remind me of that. Don't let me forget this. But yeah, so I put it there, bro. I got momentum. So I was like, man, you know, I'm going to pivot for the better. So eventually I got into soda machines, bro. Now, mind you, when I got into soda machines, I wasn't working at the temp service anymore. I elevated. I got a better job. That was no lie, Kevin was paying me $1,200 weekly. I'm sorry, not a month. Weekly, $1,200 minimum weekly. That's a lot of money, bro. Especially considering me getting out of prison. And this was like a couple months after prison. I was like 4 or 5 months now.
How old are you at this time?
I was 30.
Okay.
No. I was 29. I was 29, bro. I was 29. And I got this job. Now, mind you, this job was in conjunction with Amazon. No convicted felons whatsoever at the time. But the owner of the company was a Cuban guy, bro. I identified that. And I said, you know what? This guy's Cuban, he speaks Spanish. I know I got hefty charges. I know they're not supposed to have me here, but I'm gonna wow him. I'm gonna bring value to him. I had a conversation with him in Spanish. Blew his mind, he couldn't believe it. There ain't too many African Americans speaking fluent Spanish. So when I did that, and I presented myself accordingly, and he seen all my accolades, how I can help him, bro, he like, oh, bro, I got to have you, bro. I got to have you. But the biggest thing, Kevin, that I want to tell all the viewers and all the listeners, man, you might not know Spanish. You might not be fortified in your emotions right now. But what you can do starting today that will allow you to elevate in life and have so many doors open up to you that initially supposed to be closed to you is have a winning personality. When I say having a winning personality, you just gotta have a magnetic personality to where people are drawn to your personality, where people will want to make you an exception because of your attitude, the way you look at things, how you make people feel. You know, Maya Angelou always said it. People will forget what you say or do, but people will never forget how you make them feel. Make people feel good, be trustworthy, and bring value to somebody somehow, some way, bro. So many doors will open up because I have a murder charge. A lot of doors got closed initially. But eventually in due time, when they learned who I was and they seen my personality, my persona, they opened those doors, man. And I've been blessed, bro. I've gotten into situations and places, Kevin, that you be like, bro, how the hell you get in here? Winning personality, bro. Me and you have this great vibe right now. You like my personality, you invited me to your sanctuary, bro. Because you felt the vibe, the personality from your friend Ian, text, phone calls, you see my social media, you see my personality, bro. Because if I didn't have a great personality, you think you're gonna let me in your sanctuary? Hell no, I don't know this guy. That's weird. I like this guy's vibe. I like his. So that's key, man. That's an intangible that people have to develop and exercise. Have the winning personality, bro. You'll never lose.
Yeah, you have a good reputation amongst me and my friends.
Yeah, man.
Right,
Yeah,
and
for
it was paid forward, which is amazing, and I agree with all that. So you are doing this second job, $1,200 a week. You are doing the vending machines as well. When do you branch off and start to realize that your knowledge could be monetized? Now, you don't have to go and work for anyone.
Right.
And when do you start to branch off and take action in that area of your life?
Okay, so while I was working at a nice paying job, it was one caveat about that job. In the month of December, it got slow. There was no work for us. So that didn't sit well with me because for 4 weeks straight, bro, I ain't got no money. And it's like, bro, bills, still got bills, stuff adding up, you know, I'm used to these checks. And it was like, it wasn't good. I didn't sit well with me. So I looked for alternatives. So I got whiff of Airbnb. Are you familiar? Mm-hmm. So I heard how lucrative the industry was. Now, mind you, this was in like 2020, I believe, 2020. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. And I heard about it. I got interested. I'm like, hey, man, I can make some money by a home. Just utilize like a hotel. People pay me to stay for a couple of days, short-term rental, et cetera, et cetera. So I moved forward with it. I bought a coach. For anybody, man, listen, if you want to do anything in life, you have to get you a coach, man. Accelerate all the nuances, all the roadblocks, all the hurdles by getting a trusted coach that can help get you to the level that you desire. Just want to pinpoint that. But anyway, got me a coach, Airbnb coach. He gave me the game. I take off with it. I get an Airbnb, bro, adjacent to the same house that I got incarcerated from. Same towns, bro, like literally like 8 houses down. Ironic. I put it on Airbnb, make a long story short. Guess how much money I made monthly off this, man. Now this is like, it's not a raggedy, but this is not like a luxurious town. This is nothing like this. I'm talking about a average mediocre townhouse. Kevin, I brought in $8,000 in 1 month. Bro, when that happened, it was over. It was over, bro. I put my 2 weeks notice in with the job. I mean, $1,200 a week is good, minimum. And there's times I'll bring in $1,900 depending on the overtime. But bro, when I made $8,000 for myself, from the knowledge that was bestowed upon me from a coach, I believed. And I got another and another and another to the point where I was making like $40K a month just off Airbnb. Right? But they say good things don't last long, man. Eventually, Airbnb started to slow down. I wasn't getting the money that I was accustomed to. And the market kind of dwindled. And I did away with them recently. And now I had to transition because I'm like, you know what? Like right now, I have a lucrative rental car company in Tampa. Made me 6 figures. Done hella numbers. Most money I ever seen in my life. But I had to come to the grips. This is not my pinnacle. This is not my calling. My calling is to help the individuals out there that's going through some type of adversity and feel like they can't get out of it. Feeling stagnant, feeling stuck, You know, the people that their emotions are angers instead of, you know, benefits. And I started just putting content together, bro. Everything I learned in prison, you know, how I, you know, built my intangibles up and how I applied those same intangibles out here that enabled me to success, to have those same doors opened up to me. I wanted to proliferate that to the people, man. Because I know I'm not the only one. Life be lifing, bro. We all need some type of help and navigation and assistance through life. And this is where I'm at, bro. This is how I help people, you know, with my wisdom and my experiences. And I love it. This is where I'm supposed to be at, man. You know, I feel so much joy, Kevin, when people say, hey, my story inspired them and the example I gave was practical and they actually applied it and they received substantial results. I love when my clients tell me that,
It's
man.
the best, dude.
It's the best, bro, because it's like, yeah, you believe it when you do it, but when you can illustrate to someone else, step by step, how to get results, how to get better, and they actually apply it and it comes into fruition, it's like, oh, man, it's a high, bro.
If you do something, so I used to work at Google, and they were very big on, like, for example, if I simplified a process or something or did something more efficiently, like completed a task in minimal amount of time and maximized our results, they were like, oh, cool. How do you apply it now to everyone else? Like, how do you copy this process so that everyone can do it? That is fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's so different when you do it, but then when other people start to do it and it's now impacting a whole community of people.
Yeah.
Well, to watch it, being the initial person to do it is amazing, but it's also a talent and it's a gift if you're able to, you know,
most definitely
broaden that.
Malcolm X said, in the autobiography of Malcolm X, I never forget, he said that a master teacher is somebody who can take something so convoluted, break it down to where an elementary student can understand. And a lot of that flies over a lot of people's head. Sometimes people try to keep it complex and wonder why people are not adhering.
I hate that shit.
You know, comprehending. And it's like, bro, everybody's not on that level. But as a leader, as a master teacher, as a coach, you have to identify your audience and say, hey, this is where my audience is at. What examples can I use? How can I break it down to the simplest form to where they can absorb it and get the most from it? And a lot of guys are not doing this out there. They're not doing it out here. They're not. They just think everybody's on the same level. Hey, do this, and you're going to receive substantial results. That may be the case for some people because everybody's on a different level. And that may be the case for you, per se. That's not the case for everybody. So you have to deal with people accordingly. And this is something that I have identified and that, you know, I practice. You got to break it down according to your audience, man.
Bro, you're getting me hyped up. I want to hire you, man.
Yeah, bro.
I'm
serious, bro. I'm serious, yeah, bro. I'm serious,
no, man.
Like,
listen, it is from where you were and where you've been. You exceeded the expectations. You went against the curve. You went against the grain. Like, you did all the things that you weren't supposed to do given where you came from and what you experienced. So it's commendable. We're going to talk about a tangible thing that you wanted to share with the audience.
The winning personality.
Got it.
That was it.
Okay.
But I do want to share this because I want the people, man, to really understand emotional intelligence. And if you go, for anybody, go on my Instagram.
Shout out your socials.
Yeah, all my social media handles. Anybody who's interested and wants to fortify their emotional intelligence, contact me at Instagram at real_Mo Nelson Speaks, TikTok at Mo Nelson Speaks, LinkedIn as Mo Nelson, Facebook as Mo Nelson. Shoot me a DM, man. Just write me the word prevail, man, and we'll jump on a call or we'll take it from there. We'll see how I can help you if you're a great fit for my program. and get you on the right track, man. But the 5 components of emotional intelligence is self-management, self-awareness, internal motivation, empathy, and social skills. These 5 components a lot of people ignore and don't even know that they exist. They're unbeknownst to them, right? And that's the problem. That's why you see so much road rage in today's society. Because they don't have any self-awareness. They don't have any self-management. They don't have empathy. You cut this man off in the road. It goes 2 ways. Let me just illustrate this example. You cut this man off on the road because you're trying to get to the destination, right? This man gets angry because you cut him off and he's trying to get to his destination. So now he's mad, but you're anxious to get to your destination. But the guy that's mad don't know that you got your 5-year-old daughter in the back that's having an asthma attack and you're rushing her to the hospital. That's why you cut him off, right? The guy that you cut off, you don't understand he's mad because he's about to be late to a very important meeting, which is kind of his fault, but it's still, because he could have left earlier, but still, that's not the case of matter be. He's upset, he's angry. So you guys stop. Both, rattle with all these emotions, right? Anger, anxiousness, but there's a miscommunication. One or the other approaches somebody wrong, in the wrong way. Somebody loses their life, catches an assault charge. You hurt him, now you facing a prison sentence because ain't no telling how that's gonna go. Your daughter right there in the car, he hurts you, you're getting hurt right in front of your daughter. It's a lot of variables, but we don't think about it. Because I say this, man, everybody is going through something. Everybody's faced with a war, an internal war. And nobody else knows what that person is going through unless they proclaim it to you. But if it's not, shared with you, you don't know. So everybody's dealing with this battle. And everybody doesn't know how to handle the personal wars and battles effectively. And they wear them on their sleeves. But us, as advanced emotional intelligence individuals, we can recognize that and approach accordingly. Because if somebody cuts me off, it happens. And sometimes I'm like, what the? But I snap out of it. Oh, I don't know what's going on. But I'm going to stop the car and flag him down and this man got a gun. Nah, it's obvious he got somewhere he needs to be. Don't know who he got in the car. Don't know what he's going through. Is my car wrecked? Do I still have my life? Am I in an unfortunate situation? No. Let it go. Because you're only going to feel mad for a couple milliseconds. That shit going to it's going to wither away. You forgot that you was mad earlier about that. That's what it's all about, man. Self-management. Managing that urge. Because, remember, I spoke about it earlier, instant gratification. See, people, when I say that, people I'm not just talking about with some food or obtaining some money no, I'm talking about it feels good to lash out sometime. If somebody does you wrong, Kevin, it feels good to hit them in their mouth. Because I got to release that anger. I'm angry, I'm mad, you pissed me off. I want to hit you in your fucking nose. At that moment, it feels good. I got to release it in a certain manner that I felt that was fitting. But it's not. It didn't warrant that. Now, it's times where you have to defend yourself. And you can't allow fear, because that's an emotion too, to prevent you from defending yourself and standing up for yourself. And that's different. But also, we're talking about emotions. Fear can also help you too, because fear alerts you when there's a threat involved. If you're walking down the street, Kevin, and there's a group of guys that don't look up to no good, bro, you gonna walk down in the midst of them? You'd be a fool if you do. Know what you're gonna do, you're gonna reroute and you're gonna pivot. I'm gonna take this route. Off of fear, and not because you're a wuss, not because you're soft. Yeah, no, you're a pretty big dude. I'm sure you can defend yourself. But it's about being smart and emotionally intelligent. These are 5 guys. I don't know what they're home. I don't know what they're going through. They might be hungry, starving, they're poor. They see my shirt, my clothes, my nice watch, want to take it from me. Why tempt them? Why take yourself through the bullshit? Go the other way. That's emotional intelligence. You know, you at your job. Your boss tell you to do something. Yeah, it sucks. Could he have said it in a different way? Yes. But guess what? You don't respond correctly. Now you get fired. But you get fired arbitrarily. You didn't plan for this. Now you got these bills. How these bills gonna get paid? You know, now you stuck. You got all these things that was coming along, but you didn't assess that, you know, or compartmentalize it when he said what he said, and you was mad and you wanted to lash out and tell him how you really felt. Which is cool, but how you do it is what's important. But you did it out of anger, out of frustration. He didn't like how you reacted. Clock out, they'll never come back. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna beat him up? So now you fired with a job and you got a fucking assault charge. Like, bro, it's simple mathematics, bro. It's simple mathematics. And I'm gonna say this too, what plays on our emotions, man, is our environment too. If you know an environment incites a certain emotion, Kevin, don't place yourself in that situation. If you know it's an individual, bro, that rubs you the wrong way, that, you know, he can get you off the wagon a little bit, why put yourself around him? You need to subtract yourself around that person, from that environment, from those things. Simple mathematics. This is how I made it. I'm not perfect, bro. I know it's certain things that a person can do that will tick me off, Kevin. And because I know that, because I'm self-aware, because I know myself, I stay away from it. I don't place myself in those environments where those type of individuals can incite that emotion, can invoke that emotion. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Simple, brother. It's simple. You know?
Mo, thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you taking the drive. And your story's going to help a lot of people. Appreciate you coming out, man.
Yeah, man. And I want to drop it one more time. Listen, how I help people is I go through the intangibles first. You know, I help you with your why, what's your purpose, what it is that you're trying to do, what are you struggling with. And I only can help you as much as you're going to help yourself. I help bring out the best in you as people help bring out the best in me. But at the end of the day, you have to make the decision. You have to do it. I only can help. But if there's something that you see I can assist you with, please reach out. Let's talk. Let's vibe. I want to help you become your best self. So in any endeavor you partake in, you will 10X and you will have substantial success.
Thank you, Mo.
Thanks for having me, Kev, man. It's been a pleasure, man.